Hi, friends. I hope you guys are okay. Well, there was some interest on the Roy Stevens palm exercise. Now, I met Roy Stevens when I was, I must have been 20 years old, 21 years old, when I first started taking trumpet lessons with him, although his methodology was familiar to me from the time I was 15 years old when I saw Paul Bogosian give Don Ellis a trumpet lesson. Paul Bogosian was a great lead trumpet player, still is. He's in Philadelphia now as a chiropractor. Made a smart career choice. But what he showed me was how to do the palm exercise. Now, understand this. Roy Stevens had a way of forming the embouchure, which was, he dictated that it must be upstream. Uh, he allowed for downstream as well. But he thought that the most effective way to play the trumpet was upstream, which I don't agree with. I think that as long as you are working the muscles of your face correctly and you have a balance on the airstream, this is my Olds Ambassador pulling it. We got the dropsies today. I'm going to demonstrate for you with this old thing, the Roy Stevens palm exercise. But first, Roy would always have us do the pencil exercise because he wanted us to set up the aperture correctly. And that puts about a 1/4 of an inch gap in the teeth. The lips are perfectly aligned in between, and you blow air past a vibrating aperture. The idea is to not use a whole lot of pressure. Instead, we are forced to be in a position where we are exchanging compression for pressure. I'm sorry. We are exchanging pressure for compression. I'm so dyslexic. The idea is that the muscles of the face are activated by the air. Now, Roy didn't describe it as compression. I do. I believe that it's compressed air that causes it to go through at velocity, and then you have to have the muscles of the face strong enough to hold back that compression of air. And once those muscles are built, well, the sky's the limit. I'm going to place this Olds Ambassador from the 1950s flat on my hand. No fair gripping. So there's a loud double high C with no pressure. Well, only the amount of pressure that I can get from the friction of my hand going against the surface of this shiny lacquered horn. It's very slippery. So, the statics way up high like that, you can find them. The important thing is that you have the compression of air and you have the strength of the embouchure to hold back the compression of air. I'm sure it's as loud as anybody. But what I'm doing is I'm holding back the compression of air with the muscles of my face, and I'm compressing the air forward as I play. And that is it's established by the alignment that we find when we do the palm exercise. That's a little bit difficult. I'm getting tired now. So as I find the alignment, it just locks right in as I blow that air past. That's the Roy Stevens palm exercise. I've been warming up on it my entire life. I think it's been good for me. Right along those lines that Roy was teaching us about compressing the air. Well, I've developed this thing with the compression training system, which you're probably tired of hearing about. But if you try it, you're going to be blown away. Why? Because that the same musculature that you're holding back here when you're doing the palm exercise, that's the same muscles that are getting worked out with this. And you can see all of them working. Look at the size of those corner muscles. That's all been built with this apparatus called a compression training system. If you'd like to hear more about both the palm exercise, the compression training system, the pencil exercise, I've been around for ages. I'm almost 65 years old, and I've been studying this thing with these masters since I was a teenager. I've got it figured out. I'd like to help you. I give lessons on all of this. They're $75 per hour. If you can only afford a half hour, take the half hour lesson. If you can't afford the $75, I'll work something out with you. There's lots to be learned.